Okay, so now that we have set up our pages for the specs given in week 3, assignment 3, I'm going to show you quickly how to set up this page, which is page number 1, and hopefully you can follow through the other pages very easily once this is established. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with page numbers, and that includes your folio down below here. This is the PDF that was given to you guys as for an example. So look at this as a way to inspire you to know where to put everything and how everything should look. It doesn't have to be a mere duplicate. It doesn't have to look exact, but I would definitely kind of look off of this as an example to help guide you through. Okay, with that being said, let's go ahead and go back to InDesign. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with a page number, which is a folio at the bottom. Now, this is going to be created using your style sheet so that it's going to apply it very easily. If you don't have your pages up, go to Window Pages. It's going to apply them easily to each page without you having to manually add in your pages, which is really nice, especially when you have maybe a 100-page publication, if not more. Even just a 4-page one, it's also easy too. These steps are kind of weird at first, but I think once you go through them, it will definitely get easier. And when I say weird, it's just, some of the things that you have to do step by step to get your page number to automatically apply. Looks a little odd at first, but you'll see it once it's actually on your pages. Okay, so one of the key things that you have to remember when you start your page numbering is that we have to click on your master pages. So you have a panel box here, and right now all of these pages are set. You have a little A on the top that's defaulted for mine, is saying that anything that I do on this A master page will be applied to these pages. If I didn't want, say, a folio on the front cover, which, for the newsletter, it's okay, but say if it's a magazine, we don't really want a page number. What we would do is just go ahead and drag that none page right over top of that first cover, drag and drop it so that you don't have it applied to your first page. But because this is a newsletter, it's okay to have the folio on the front as well. So we're going to make sure that these all have A's on them. And then when we have all A's on them, if you don't, you'll just drag it over top. Now, the key is you have to do your folio on your master pages, not these pages. So double click on the left master page up here in your page panel. Now this is a little confusing, but just to show you really quickly visually how this works, take a look at my circle here. I'm going to go ahead and give this a fill just to show you visually. You can see I just put a black circle on the left-hand page here. So anything that is left master page A is changing so that when I see this and I click back onto my actual pages, it's applied to it. Now, when I click back to my pages to see it, I can't edit it. It's kind of locked in there. So the only way that I can edit it is to go back onto my master page and actually edit it. So you'll see, take a look at these thumbnails here in my pages. When I change it on my master page, look how they kind of move. And the same thing on the right here. If I were to put something like this and just fill it, with maybe a color, you can see anywhere on the right side of my master page applied to my pages, you can see it changing here. So this is nice because anything that you want repeated on every page, you want to make sure that they are on your master page so they're repeated in your pages. Okay, with that being said, we want to do a folio for the left side page. This is kind of like a double page spread. And then the right side, we also want to do a folio for that. So anything that any pages that you apply normally to your left or your right, and your front cover would be your right and your back cover would be your left, right? Okay, so let's double click on your master pages, and I'm going to zoom in at the very bottom. We'll start here in the corner. And take your text type box, and what we're going to do is we're just going to draw a text box from the top of that purple margin, it can kind of just align there, and we can kind of move that as we go forward. But what you're going to do here, and if you want to click back and forth again to your PDF, you're going to write in, you're going to have the page number, month in the year, and then student matters on the inside. And I'll show you here if you can see double page spread. Boom, right there. Oh, not like this. Hold on. This is actually showing incorrect, but yeah, this cover should not be here. So just let's go forward. I think you'll kind of understand what I'm showing you here, because it's a little hard to see that example. Okay, so this is going to be what you're going to do is you're going to have a placeholder page number here. Okay, so with your type selected inside your type box, you're going to go up to your type on your menu bar, and you're going to go down and insert special character. There we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to markers, and we're going to go to current page number. And when you select that, it's going to automatically place a placeholder A. And that's a little confusing right now, but once you kind of see the changes, once we go forward, you'll understand what that's for. So you want to see the A. You don't want to type A, but you want to go through the steps I just showed you to place that in there. And then what you can do, and I'm just going to do a space for now. You can do the month. So let's do March, and the year, and then student matters. And I think that's all together is one. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make a style for this. So we're going to go up to window, and we're going to go to styles, and we're going to go to paragraph styles, because we want it to be very, very consistent on every single page. And we're going to do this. We're going to go ahead and select this whole line of text with the type tool. We're going to go to paragraph styles, and we're going to do new paragraph style. And we're going to just name this footer or page number, whatever you want to say. Choose a font that you think will be relevant to what you've been using for your web page here. You do have a preset of style settings in a Word file here, and I'm not sure if there's a folio. Let me see here. Drop cap subheads. Nope. Okay, but we can kind of see here that you know, the type being used for headers is Helvetica. And we have the body styles Times New Roman. So what you can do is you can basically base it off of that. Just keep it consistent. So let's do Times New Roman. And a folio, pretty much, I would say stick between 10 and 12 point size. I'm going to go down to 11 for my size. And let's see what else. Maybe we'll do bold. And then let's see, we'll go to tabs. And the tabs really kind of helps tab your student matters, so it goes on the inside. So what we want to do, and it's a little hard to see here because I have my box up here, in the tab area here, we want to select your third arrow in the right justified tab and pull this all the way over until you get to the very end where this margin hits. So it's like about 8, almost 8, about 7.5. Let me see if that's correct. Yeah, 7.25. It shouldn't go past this little white triangle. So it should be like right here. And that's basically where your student matters will go to. Now you can also put another tab after the page number too. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to do a left justified tab, and let's go, we got to pull this to the left here because that's the start of our text box over here. So we want to put the left justified tab right about, let's do like 0.5. And that will be where the date starts, and click OK. Now what we want to do is we want to select footer so that we apply that style to it. And then to apply your tab, and we did this before, whoops, on the other menu that you were working on last time, we want to just hit the tab, delete the space that we put in there, and hit tab in between here. Now, if your Student Matters bumps down just like mine did, all you have to do is just adjust your tab a little bit more. So I'm going to double click on footer and go back to tabs. And what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way, got to pull this to the left so we can, because it's kind of hidden here. Oh, it looks like it deleted my tab. That's why. We're going to take the right justified tab. We're going to add a tab there. Again, just like we did. For some reason, it deleted it. Did it delete the other one too? Let's see. Nope. This one should be left justified, and this one should be yes. Right. Good. Okay. So that's what will happen when you hit tab. It should happen like that. If it bumps down to the next line and you did apply the tab, all you need to do is go back to tabs and just make sure it's right before this little white triangle. It's just telling you it's a little over. Okay. So now you can do kind of some interesting things with this, and the PDF here, you can see it Student Matters is 2 different colors and the rest of the type is black. So that's something that you can also do, is apply colors to this. And you can do that using your character styles. So go to character styles and do a new character style. And we're going to name this Magazine Blue. So we know that that's just, we're just going to use it for color. And you can use the blue color used in the actual header that you place in there. I'm just going to quickly just give it this color that's already in here. And I'm going to do the same thing and create another character style. I'm going to name this Magazine Red. I'm just going to apply the red that's in here. And then just make sure you select it to apply it. Okay, so that's the first step. That's your left side bottom folio page number. Now, in the example that's shown, there's a line, and let me show you here real quick. There's a actual rule line that goes above here. I'm going to show you how to do that as well. All right, so what I'm going to do is, before I even do anything, I'm going to pull this down just slightly away from this line so that when we do apply the rule, you can see it. And I'm going to go to my paragraph style. I'm going to double click on my footer style again. And I'm going to go all the way down to paragraph rules. Okay, it's right below your tabs. And we're going to do a rule above. Okay, you can click on the little roll on. And you'll see when you do that, it'll apply it. But what we want that to kind of be offset. So we want that to just go ahead and increase this number here. I would say mine would be about 0.1875 is a good spaced out. There's enough space in between where it's not too much or too less. So 0.1875. You can also change the color if you want, maybe blue. You can change the width of the actual line itself. I'm going to change it to 0.5. Everything else looks good. So I'm going to click OK. And that's what applies the rule. So anytime you were to bump this down, you can actually align that with your guide there, your baseline margin there. All right, I'm going to show you a simple trick to copy that and do it the same thing on this side, although you want your page number to be on the outside of your right page. So what I would do is I would do a Command C, Command V, like copy and paste, or Alt Option drag as a copy of that same thing we just did and align it. But we need to change it so that this is on the outside and this is on the inside, right? So very simple thing to do. What I would do is just go ahead and copy Student Matters. Just select that, do Command C, and you can delete that. Take your cursor, put it right before the A, and do a paste. And that'll paste in your Student Matters. And then just go ahead and copy the A again. Then you highlight it, copy it, just like you did with Student Matters. You can delete it. Put the cursor right where the 20 is and do a Command paste. Oops. Now the only thing you need to do is put a tab in between here. So go ahead and Let me see here. Maybe this is a tab. Yeah. So go ahead and select that. We're going to double click on. Okay, so we might have to actually create a new style for that because it is a different tab on this side than it is here. That's the only thing that you'll have to do. So we're going to do a new paragraph style, and we're going to do footer right, or right footer. If I didn't put the tabs in there, I wouldn't have to worry about this, but because I put tabs, 2 tabs in there, I do. And so basically what I'm going to do is just put a right justified tab in about the 7 mark because we left like a ½ inch there. Okay. So I'm going to delete that space before or after student matters and hit tab here. And then right footer, select that. And there you go. The only thing is we need to change this so that's not the same color. We want it to be black. There we go. And you could probably change this name to be left footer if you want to, since we have a right footer. Okay, so that's kind of what it should look like. All right, save this. And then when you're ready to look at your page numbers change so you don't have an A there anymore, go ahead and click on the number 1 page and you'll see down below here, it'll change to page number 1. Down below here 2, I don't know if you guys can see that. Next one 3, and then 4. So it's kind of cool. So anytime you add pages, it's gonna that actually have the master page applied to it, it will keep numbering, and I'll show you here. I'll show you how that works. So if I pull this down, boom, we got a page 5, we got a page 6, we got page 7. So isn't that really neat? Anything that you need to change, if you had like 100-page publication, magazine, whatever you're working on, it's just a really nice way to edit. Say if you wanted to change the look of the footer, you're not doing it to 100 pages. You're only doing it to the footer, you know, in the styles, and then, you know, applying it to everything in there so that you're not wasting that time. And then also it's numbering it for you. So that's really cool. Now, anytime you want to edit this, you can't do it in the pages. You'll notice it's locked. You have to actually double click on your master to get back to your footer. And that's where you can actually go in and change it if you want to. All right, I hope this helps.